Yo, what up? It is Middleman TV in the building, and I am back, man. I am back. Hold on, give me a second, y'all. It is Middleman TV in the building, and we are back, man. It's been about a month, a little over a month since I've been here, man. But obviously, I got to come back. We're back for the biggest fight in boxing history, probably in the last 20 years. Terrance Bud Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez. We're finally here, and we got a lot to talk about, man. The weigh-ins were yesterday. All week I've been hyped, man. I haven't really came on here to give my assessment of the fight, and we're gonna break it down here on Middleman TV. We're gonna break down my winner. We're gonna break down the keys to victory, and then we're gonna talk about it, man. And then we're gonna have people put their comments in the comment section who end up showing up on this live, and we're gonna get the boxing world's take on this fight before I get on out of here, man. And this is gonna be a huge weekend for all of us. But let's get right to it, man. Terrance Bud Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez. Now, all week, I'm excited, man. I can't first of all, can we admit we are finally here, man? We have been talking about this fight for a long time. We all didn't want this fight in the beginning, but we are now here, man, and now we can't stop talking about it. It's kind of crazy how no boxing fan really wanted this fight. No fight fan really thought this fight was possible. And now, fast forward, and no one can stop talking about it. I just find that real interesting. Um, but anyway, I'm gonna be honest, man. Canelo Alvarez and Terrance Crawford both bring this like energy of just confidence. You know what I'm saying? Dogs, like dogs, literal dogs, man. I mean, it's pretty incredible to see how just how amazing, but how serious both men are taking this. I think it's pretty damn incredible, man. Where's my banners? Tweaking. But yeah, man, I'm expecting we're gonna get into the exact details of the fight. I gotta get my name back on there. How the hell what the hell happened? Let's see, how do I work this thing? Okay. So for some weird reason, hold up. Uh, that is really weird, man. All right, well, we got one viewer in the building. Make sure y'all hit that like button, man. We're gonna break down this Canelo Alvarez and Terrance Crawford fight. I'm trying to get my name back on there. I don't know why it won't let me do that. Hold on, y'all. There we go. We're back. All right, I got my name back on there. We are good, man. We're gonna break this fight down, man. Now, obviously, a lot of people. I was talking to a lot of people before the fight, and a lot of people have been telling me what they think. It's kind of interesting that people always feel like they're experts, man. They tell me what they think is the best thing to do for a fighter or whatever, and a lot of people who have never stepped in the ring before, a lot of people who know boxing, don't understand what it is to be an athlete, and people are saying, "Oh, Bud Crawford's best chance to win would be to come in at 164, 165, so he can still have his mobility and his speed, and so he can still utilize that ring to try to outbox Canelo and move his feet." And I'm just thinking in my head, like, why are you guys already trying to write the wall for Terrance Bud Crawford? Let this man do what he has to do, whatever it is. Anything can happen. But apparently people don't think that. Um, and a lot of people are concerned after the weigh-in. And we're going to break that down. We're going to break down the exact details of the weigh-in and why people are nervous. Um, but let's get right into it, man. Let's just get right to it. So the weigh-in yesterday. Okay. So Canelo Alvarez looked pretty much how he always looks, an exception to Canelo looked a little bit thinner than he usually does. Like usually Canelo came in compact as usual, looking like a big dude, but normally Canelo comes in with a little bit more, I would say a little bit more muscle, a little bit more around. To me, Canelo looked rather thinner than he usually does. I'm gonna say this is probably the thinnest I've seen Canelo look in a long time, but I think that's a good thing because I think Canelo is taking this fight really serious. I think I heard rumors that he was working on his defense. He's been working on his stamina. You know, he's been working on drills to be more elusive in this fight and to try to match Crawford's speed in this fight. And I heard that's what he's been working on, man. And I think it went to. I think the weigh-in it went to show. It showed. You know what I mean? It definitely showed that that's what Canelo has been working on. And as for Bud Crawford looked jacked. He looked jacked. He looked like he had a tremendous training camp, right? It looked like he was eating all the right stuff. It looks like he took it serious, rehydrated well. Everything went well for Crawford in camp in terms of how he ended up looking with his body. But how will that translate in the ring? These are the questions that everyone wants to know. Will Terrance Bud Crawford, will his speed still be there with all the weight and all the muscle that he put on for the weigh-in? Will the power still be there at 168? Will he be able to move his legs, putting on all that muscle? Will he still be elusive? Will he get fatigue in the late rounds? These are questions that the boxing world are asking. I don't have all the answers. I can't tell you for sure if Terrance Bud Crawford's going to get fatigued late, or if his legs aren't going to be under him, or if his power is going to translate at 168, or if this man will end up, being able to achieve something that we don't think is really likely. I've been listening to fight predictions all week. I wanted to listen to everybody else's fight prediction before I put mine out because I just felt like, you know, you got to listen to everybody. You got to hear everybody's outlook on the fight. You want to get everyone's take on it and then have your own. That's just how I wanted to go about this thing. I wanted to hear everybody else's because I knew everybody was going to go out there. I listened to everybody else's YouTube channel to see what they would say. And man, I only hear about 10% of the YouTube world, the boxing world in general, picking Terrance Bud Crawford to win this fight. Most people are picking Canelo Alvarez to win this fight. It's the safe pick. He's been the king of the weight for, I don't know, 10 years. And, Terrance Bud Crawford has never fought at the weight class ever. A lot of people are saying he's insane, like literally insane. Like the man's insane to be skipped 160, didn't look good at 154, and now you're jumping up 2 weight classes to fight Canelo Alvarez. People are saying he's crazy. We got 3 viewers in the building. Hit that like button, man. Hit that damn like button. But yeah, man, for Terrance Bud Crawford to be climbing 3 weight classes to fight Canelo Alvarez, people are saying he's insane, and people are giving him no chance to win. Now, I like to take everything that I've taken from what everybody has been saying from the fight, take those little bits and pieces, but ultimately come up with my own decision. I've been listening to Shakur Stevenson and his confidence. I've been listening to Bomac and his confidence. Anyone who's around Bud, Andre Ward and people who really know Bud, Keyshawn Davis, people of those magnitudes, right? But then you hear on the other side of the spectrum, Jaron Boots Ennis and goes and spars with Canelo Alvarez. Jaron Boots Ennis feels like Canelo Alvarez has the best chin in boxing. He feels like Canelo Alvarez has the best IQ in boxing. These are coming from the words of Jaron Boots Ennis. Jaron's never sparred with Terrance Bud Crawford as far as I'm concerned. So he doesn't know how Terrance Bud Crawford hits. This makes this fight just that more intriguing. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I want to get to my predictions because I feel like I need to give you guys my predictions. It's only right that I give you my predictions. And here we are, man. We gonna get right to it, man. I had to think about this, man. You know, Canelo, obviously, he's been in this weight class for 10 years. Undisputed champion of the world at 168 pounds. Right now, currently, as we speak. Terrance Bud Crawford has never fought at the weight class. A lot of people say, he's in over his head. But you know what? I just have to ask myself, like, and this has nothing to do with boxing, but they say when, Bud Crawford he got shot in the head as a young kid, drove himself to the hospital. Sometimes in this world, some things are not explainable. For example, getting shot in the head, surviving, and driving yourself to the hospital. To me, that's not an explainable thing to do. And tonight, Bud Crawford getting his hand raised is not an explainable thing to do. But I think if you ask Bud Crawford, I think he would tell you, being the crazy man that he is, that he wouldn't have wanted to write this story in any other way other than he can't do it. He's too small. He hasn't fought nobody. He's got no chance. That's the story he wants. That's the challenge he wants. He's been asking for this fight. Now, normally, with logic, I would pick Canelo. But knowing that Bud Crawford has never let me down in history, and fighters put on poker faces, but Bud Crawford's level of confidence has reeled me into believe that I think he can do this. I may be as crazy as him by thinking he can pull this off, but I think he can pull this off. I don't think it will be easy. I do think Canelo is taking a bit of a step back. I do think Canelo will be sharper than usual and will be the best version of himself. But I think Bud Crawford will give us a version that we are not expecting. I think it's the element of surprise here that is going to give Crawford the edge. I think because everyone thinks Canelo's going to win, because no one knows what to expect from Bud Crawford. There's so many unknowns. And the safe pick would be Canelo. But I am going to roll with Bud Crawford by split decision victory. And I just think that somehow, some way, I think in the early rounds, Bud Crawford is going to box him and win rounds and like he said, and try to bank rounds early. I do believe him, and I do think he will bank the early rounds. And I think come late rounds, I think Bud Crawford is going to try to do something that no one predicts. I think he's going to go in there and try to bang with Canelo in the second half of the fight and try to hurt Canelo. It's an insane thing to think. But if he can earn Canelo's respect with his power, this is a different fight. We're going to find out exactly how much he can hurt Canelo Alvarez. And if he can, at least respectably, that can change the whole outlook of the fight. So my final prediction is Terrance Bud Crawford wins this fight by split decision. It won't be easy. I can't even tell you how he'll do it. But I just believe in my heart and soul that he will find a way to come out victorious. I will be going live later for the fight. I feel like it's only right that I go live later for the fight. I may be watching it at home with my dad. So if I do go live, I'll have my dad in the background. It'll be funny. It'll be very entertaining later on tonight. I haven't been on live for a boxing fight in a long time. But I figure I'm here on Middleman TV. Go back live for the biggest fight that we've seen in 30, 40 years. Gotta go on YouTube live tonight. We'll be on live. Come check that thing out. And let's hope that Bud Crawford can do something for the history books, man. I like Canelo Alvarez. Respect him. He's been fighting for 20 years. 15 years old. Went pro at 15. I mean, really has really done a lot for the game of boxing. But Bud Crawford is one of my favorite fighters, and I'd be insane not to cheer for him, especially considering he's the only one here tonight that's trying to do something that no one's ever done before, not Canelo Alvarez. I have to cheer for that, being the, honest and good integrity man that I am. And I hope that Bud Crawford can do something that no one really truly thinks he can do besides me and a few other crazy people. So let's see. Please hit that like button. Leave your comments in the comment section. Let me know your guys' prediction. I want to know here on Middleman TV, the people that watch Middleman TV, who do you guys think is going to win the fight? Will it be Terrance Bud Crawford? Will it be Canelo Alvarez? I will be going on YouTube Live, hopefully for the Christian Mbili fight, the Fernando Vargas fight, and the main event tonight. Stay tuned. And like I said, leave your predictions in the comment sections. I'm gone. Peace.